It's less than a week until the US presidential election, and to my friends watching in the New World, I am very aware that even though I'm talking about this subject, as a Brit, my opinion doesn't really count for shit. But no one does patriotism like the Americans. Until I visited the USA, I figured that when there'd be something on the news which would result in thousands of Americans waving the stars and stripes, chanting, USA! USA! I thought that was just a normal Thursday. But it does confuse me that in such a massive country, the two people running for the top job to effectively be the leader of the free world are two of the worst people imaginable. Again, this is only my opinion, but Kamala Harris, she used to be a prosecutor. My American friends, trust me, you do not want one of those running your government. Our new Prime Minister, Liar Stalin, he's a former prosecutor. And it's horrible to think that both the UK and the USA could be run by fucking lawyers. And not even the good lawyers. Not the ones there to try and defend the innocent. No, the lock every fucker up type. And with Harris, whenever she's questioned on something, usually she doesn't really answer it. She just goes off on some weird ramble about whatever, or just cackles. That isn't normal. And for the Republicans, it's Donald Trump. And personally, I really do not like that man. A reality TV star turned politician who doesn't talk like a politician. To me, he doesn't talk like a functioning adult. Yet I sort of get it. I think part of the appeal is he doesn't come across as a typical politician. He has no filter between his brain and his mouth. And recently, his campaign, it's on fire. Since Joe Biden said that Trump supporters were garbage, and then Trump turns up at his next rally, and his rallies are more like fucking rock concerts than political rallies. He turns up wearing a high-vis jacket in a bin wagon. That's genius. Because it was bloody funny. But like I said, I'm a Brit. My opinion doesn't count. Yet the way that the far left react to Donald Trump is mind-blowing. Because they all go utterly insane. It may be what they're doing appears to be quite mild, or they have full-on delusional breakdowns, and that's the point of this video. We'll meet a few people with Trump derangement syndrome. Starting with this lady.
This is fucking disrespectful.
Look what she's doing. She's on my property, taking my flag.
I'm not.
This is my truck. Get away from my truck. Get away from my truck, you crazy lady. Please. What are you doing right now?
You're a fucking ass.
What are you doing right now? Here's your license plate. Lady, please get away from my vehicle. I have to go to work. I'm gonna go get the cops involved. Get away from my vehicle now. You cut me off.
What gives you the right to
free? This is America, and this is a free country. Get away from my vehicle, or I'm gonna press charges on you. Get away from my vehicle right now and get on the road. What are you doing right now? You're like 100 years old. Go in your fucking vehicle and get in the road now. Get in the road now. I don't know what you think you're doing. Touching my fucking shit. You're lucky I'm in a good mood. Get the hell out of here. Look at this lady. Crazy. All because of my flag. Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy Democrat. This is what we have in America. Crazy Democrats. Crazy Democrats. There you go.
That's an almost perfect stereotype. A Trump flag on the back of a pickup truck. But that woman has decided to carry out an act of vandalism because she doesn't like another person's political opinion. And that's the amazing thing about the political far left. They're all for self-expression and freedom of speech until someone says something they don't like. Then we need to shut them down. They need to be cancelled. They need to be silenced. That's why when Elon Musk bought Twitter, so many lefty celebrities stropped off saying they'd never use the platform again, and then all quietly crept back on. But imagine if that woman... Actually, no, let's flip it round. Imagine that woman had a pride flag flying off the back of her car, and the gentleman went over and tried to remove it. I wouldn't be making a video on that because it would be all over the internet and the guy would be in jail. So next up, what if you're a Harris supporter but one of your family is voting for Trump?
I hate you, you fucking orange pumpkin. You just costed me one of the most important people in my life. My dad. Donald Trump, I hate you. You will never be president again. You bastard, you costed me my dad. My dad was the most important person in the world to me, but now his colors are finally out. I hate you, you fucking orange pumpkin bitch. I hate you, you stupid, failed fucking businessman. You fucking sicken me. You and all of your fucking Trump supporters. Fuck you.
Blow your nose, love. That young woman, emphasis on the word young, because I don't want to say emotionally retarded, that young woman clearly has some very public daddy issues. And now she's having an absolute meltdown because her father has a different political opinion. Does she think Donald Trump is actually going to see that TikTok? And even if he does, what's it going to do? Is he going to feel guilty and drop out of the running? Once again, it's someone on the left getting upset because someone isn't peddling the same argument that they are peddling. Diddums. I bet all her boyfriends look remarkably like her father. And I bet when she's in bed with them, she calls them all daddy. Anyway, there's a TikTok which has gone viral because there's a man predicting what's going to happen should Trump win the election. And he's utterly fucking delusional.
All right, worst case scenario, Trump gets reelected. Here is the game plan if that happens. The general rule of thumb from now on is, will the MAGA heads use it to attack someone? If so, keep your mouth shut. You no longer know that any of your trans friends are trans. You no longer know that any of your non-Christian friends are non-Christian. You no longer know that any of your friends, family, or neighbors are left-leaning at all. Anyone that you don't know tries to talk about politics around you, you shut that shit down immediately because that is fishing for information and people they can report. Anyone tries to instigate a protest or a riot, they are also fishing for people that they can report. Anyone you know who is an immigrant, you are now going to tell anyone who asks that they have been living in America their whole lives. Because if you are not among the people who need to flee for their own safety, you are part of the people who are helping them flee. You do not brag about the people you have helped. You do not tell others about the people you have helped. You keep your mouth shut about all of it on every single possible forum. Anyone asks you about politics, you reply, who has time to talk about politics? And nothing else. Someone asks you your opinion on global warming. You say, I don't talk about politics. Someone asks your opinion on wages and unionization. You say, I don't talk about politics. Someone asks about your opinion on the basic rights of other people. You say, I don't talk about politics. It's gonna hurt, but that's what's gonna help you and others survive. These are the basic ground.
Now, as much as I don't personally like Donald Trump, I think that gentleman is confusing him for Pol Pot, and that the Republican Party is somehow affiliated with the Khmer Rouge. He does realise that Trump has already been in office and people weren't being rounded up. In fact, I bet that guy is actually a communist. One of those delusional Western communists who's never spoken to anyone who lived in a communist country. And if that's you, if you're some lefty with the hammer and sickle in your t-shirt thinking everything will be okay under communism, talk to someone who's lived in one of those countries. In fact, link it back to where I started this section. Talk to someone who lived in Cambodia in the 1970s, if you can find any who are still alive. And if Trump is re-elected, why does he think suddenly there's going to be a massive crackdown on homosexuals and trans people? When he was in last time, he didn't ban gays. And as for not revealing that your friend is trans, trust me, we can usually spot those. He seems to have got it into his head that people are going to be gathering information, like America 2024-2025 is going to have its own version of the Stasi or the Gestapo, but everyone's going to be wearing a MAGA hat, which will make them very easy to spot. And I think the guy is about to go completely off the rails because he's about to use the F word. Not fuck. The word that people use on the left when they've lost an argument. fascist.
These are the basic ground rules for surviving a fascist government, which is 100% what Donald Trump has said on camera he wants to put in place if he gets reelected. I am not trying to tell you that he is guaranteed to win. I am not going to tell you that he is going to successfully overthrow the government. I am telling you these are the things that are going to happen if he somehow does wind up back in the White House and what you need to do to prepare. And finally, you may not like it, but get yourself firearms training, firearms safety training, and stay strapped. Because worst comes to worst, you also need to be able to defend yourself. And the Second Amendment is probably the only constitutional right that Donald Trump will not do away with. Probably most importantly, if he does get elected and you talk about your personal politics anywhere on social media, you need to delete that account in its entirety immediately. There will still be archived evidence of it, but at the very least they can't go into a profile that you are still using and say that those are still your views, which can be the difference between...
It's amazing that suddenly this guy's saying that everyone has to be armed, walk around carrying a firearm, when those on the political left have for years been trying to get firearms banned in the USA. And I don't wade into this argument because I'm a Brit, guns aren't part of our culture. But what camps is he talking about? Where are these internment camps? Because now we live in an age of 24-hour news. You can't do any bloody thing without someone noticing it and putting it on fucking TikTok. Not only that, if Trump deports all the immigrants, the people you have to say they've lived in America all their lives, if there aren't any Mexicans left, who's going to build the fucking things? It's proper dark now, so we'll finish up with also this idea that if anyone asks you anything, I'm too busy to talk about politics. What do you think of climate change? I'm too busy to talk about politics. Who has time to talk about politics? Climate change and politics don't necessarily go together. This guy is just a paranoid fucktard who's been reading too many dystopian novels. Mate, you are not living in The Handmaid's Tale, although I am against abortion rights being repealed. That's the end of this video because I've lost the light. If you enjoyed it, and God knows why you would have done, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as ever, thanks for watching. Fucking nearly got through the whole bastard video. As for the idea that if anyone approaches you, they must be trying to mine you for information. Mate, they're just having a fucking conversation. It's your own paranoia. Bollocks. Paranoia. Anyway, that's the end of this video. No, that don't work. Day after Halloween, though.